Really excited today to be joined by a member of the World Championship Twins from 1987 and 1991, Randy Bush, who's now an assistant GM with the Chicago Cubs. Randy, thanks for joining us. We're looking back at 60 seasons of Twins baseball throughout this summer and chatting with different players from different eras. For me personally, it's always such a treat to get to talk to guys from those World Championship clubs. You know, growing up a Twins fan in this area, I felt like I lived and died with what you guys were doing during the late 80s and early 90s. What stands out most to you? You were a part of the building process of those teams, the teams that came really out of nowhere to surprise the baseball world in 87. What stands out most to you when you look back at what was special about that first championship club that allowed you guys to turn things from where you had been in the early 80s into a world title?
Yeah, well, thanks for having me. It's always fun to go back in time and think about those years. I think what stands out is that there was a bunch of us who had played together in the minor leagues and come through the system and kind of made our debuts in Minnesota around the same time and had been playing together. And there was a general feeling among the group that we were better than we had shown in the big leagues, and that it was kind of time to do something. And we all loved Tom Kelly. We had played for him in the minor leagues, and we were very comfortable with him and understood his managerial style. And Andy MacPhail made probably what he would say is one of his best decisions ever when he then decided to give him the job permanently.
When you guys returned home from the ALCS in Detroit, what do you remember about that night?
Yeah, I mean, you can't, that's probably as great a memory as I could have about that season or about my career overall. You know, they told us there would be a few people at the Metrodome and we were going to have to go inside, and they took us in through the loading dock down the right field line. And when they opened up those big garage doors and we walked out there to a filled stadium of just unbelievable enthusiasm, it was really emotional and, something I'll never forget. And I know whenever our teammates, whenever we get together with any of the guys, we always talk about that first because it was so special.
I think when you look at team chemistry, it's hard to find a club that had more of it than that 87 team. And for you, I know that you were a roommate with our current analyst, Timmy Laudner. What was it like sharing a hotel room on the road with Tim Laudner?
Well, back in that time, everybody had roommates, and it was a normal thing. And Tim and I got along great. We were in the same draft and had come up through the system again through the minor leagues together, and we just had a lot of fun. I mean, I think Herbeck was rooming with Gaetti, and we were all just a big group. We hung out together before the games. We hung out together after the games. And so, yeah, we had a close group of guys. We laughed a lot. We had a lot of fun, and we played hard during the game. And I think that's how you're supposed to go about it. We certainly enjoyed the whole realm of being together as not only teammates, but friends.
A final thought for you. Now you've moved into the world on the other side, onto the management side of baseball. Did you ever think when you were a player that this is where you would end up in your post-playing days?
Well, I knew that I wanted to try to stay in the game because, I really enjoyed it, and I loved. I've always loved being in baseball, and exactly how that was going to end up, I didn't know, but I knew that was something I really wanted to try to do. When I got done playing, I made a really good decision to go back to school and finish my degree. And that took about 1.5 years. And that also gave me some time to kind of figure out how to carve out a career path in baseball. And I've been lucky enough to have had it work out in ways that almost like a dream come true.
Well, Randy, we thank you for joining us today. I always love hearing stories about those world title clubs, and which you were a huge part. It's been fun to be able to catch up with you a little bit during this anniversary of 60 years of Twins baseball.
Well, thanks so much. It's always fun to go back in time. Believe me, those were years that were so special, and I really cherish the memories.